Once again, welcome on Rise and Capitalize. What is the best way to reach financial freedom? Is it by saving or investing money? Hello and welcome to our channel where we try to answer this question. We're going to consider the different types of savings accounts and investment accounts. We will look at how much money you need in each type of account to be financially free, and we will show you some examples so that you can see how this works in practice. In other words, the next best alternative that must be sacrificed in order to pursue a chosen course of action. For example, if you choose to save your money in a savings account, you might miss out on the potential profits that you could have earned if you had invested your money instead. Mutual funds are investment vehicles that pool money from multiple investors to invest in a diversified portfolio of securities such as stocks, bonds, and other assets. If you're writing an academic paper, it would be good to look up the definition of saving and investing in an encyclopedia. You may also want to use databases like Google Scholar, JSTOR, or ScienceDirect to locate relevant research articles. These databases allow you to search for articles based on keywords, titles, or authors, and provide access to a wide range of scholarly publications. For example, you might want to brainstorm a list of keywords related to the types of accounts or vehicles available for saving and investing, such as savings accounts, checking accounts, retirement accounts, or investment portfolios. When conducting your research, it's important to keep track of the keywords you use and any variations that you discover. This will help you refine your search strategy and ensure that you're able to find the most comprehensive and up-to-date information on your topic. You should also consider keywords related to the goals or motivations behind saving and investing. To do this, it's helpful to establish the importance of your topic by exploring the background or context surrounding saving and investing. This could include topics like personal finance, retirement planning, financial regulation, or economic policy. By exploring these related topics, you can gain a deeper understanding of the broader forces that shape saving and investing behavior and the factors that contribute to financial well-being. You may also want to consider the global or international context of your topic and explore how saving and investing practices and regulations differ across countries or regions. Assuming he wants to be able to maintain that lifestyle for 30 years, he would need a total of $720,000 over that period. That's almost $1,400 less every month. As you can see, even a small difference in interest rates can make a significant impact. And by choosing a high-yield savings account, John can reduce his required monthly savings by almost $1,400. This can help you develop a more comparative and global perspective on your research topic. For our example, we'll assume a 0.05% interest rate and a monthly deposit of $1,000 over a 30-year period. With these parameters, you would need around $1.7 million in your savings account to maintain your lifestyle for the next 3 decades. You need $4,000 per month to maintain your lifestyle during retirement. If you invest in a balanced portfolio that earns an average annual return of 8%, you would need to have around $1.5 million invested to be able to withdraw $4,000 per month throughout your retirement without running out of money. First, you need to calculate how much you need to live comfortably. Remember that the best approach is often a combination of both, saving for short-term goals and investing for long-term growth. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, please like and subscribe for more informative content. And you want to retire 25 years later at 65? You need $5,000 per month to maintain your lifestyle during retirement? It's important to note that this is just an estimate, and the actual amount you need may be higher or lower, depending on factors such as inflation and taxes. Saving provides a safety net and a way to plan for the unexpected, while investing can help you grow your wealth and build long-term wealth. The best approach is to do both. Save for emergencies in retirement and invest for the long term with a diversified portfolio of assets. It's important to choose investments that align with your risk tolerance and financial goals, and to regularly review and adjust your investment strategy as needed. Inflation can erode the value of your investments over time, and taxes can reduce your investment returns. If you invest in a balanced portfolio that earns an average annual return of 8%, you would need to have around $1.5 million invested to be able to withdraw $5,000 per month throughout your retirement without running out of money. A balanced portfolio of stocks and bonds might generate an average annual return of 7 to 10%. Let's assume an 8% return for this example. Now, you can use an online compound interest calculator to determine how much you need to invest. Plug in the numbers you got earlier, and then change the number of years until you need the money, your monthly withdrawal, and the interest rate. This can include your housing, transportation, food, and entertainment expenses. It can also include your future goals such as buying a house or having children. Once you know how much you need to live comfortably, you need to decide how long you want your investments to last. This can vary depending on your age and retirement plans. For example, if you're 30 years old and plan to retire at 65, you might want your investments to last for 35 years. A high-yield savings account usually has an annual percentage yield between 1% and 3%. Using a 2% interest rate with the same monthly deposit and time frame as before, you would require around $1.35 million in your savings account to support your lifestyle for the next 30 years. For example, you might want to research the historical development of different types of savings accounts or investment vehicles, or the economic factors that influence saving and investing behavior. While it ensures that your money is safe and accessible, it also means that you are foregoing the potential for growth that comes with investing. On the other hand, investing carries with it an element of risk, but it also offers the potential for higher returns. By examining the existing literature and exploring the broader factors that influence saving and investing behavior, you can pinpoint areas where there is limited information or conflicting perspectives. This can help you develop a more critical and analytical approach to your research and ultimately contribute to the advancement of knowledge in your field. By understanding the broader context of your topic, you can better appreciate the significance of your findings and develop a more nuanced perspective. Using a combination of reputable sources will help you gain a deeper understanding of your topic. An encyclopedia is a great starting point for research because it provides a general overview of the topic. The main difference between saving and investing is that saving typically involves a low level of risk and a low potential return, while investing involves a higher level of risk and a higher potential return. We're going to use the definitions from Investopedia for this video. Keywords are terms or phrases that can be used to search for information on a particular topic. They are important because they can help you narrow down your research focus and find the most relevant sources of information. According to Investopedia, saving is the act of putting money aside for future use. This is often done to purchase a desired item or to cover future expenses. Saving money also involves the concept of opportunity cost. Additionally, you may want to explore keywords related to the risks and benefits of saving versus investing, such as liquidity, volatility, or diversification. By considering these different aspects of saving and investing, you can develop a comprehensive and specific set of keywords that will help you refine your research focus and find the most relevant information for your project. Just hit like button and comment investing to get more about investing. Do I ain't forget to subscribe, rise, and capitalize? Let's start by defining some terms. There are many different ways to define what it means to save money or to invest money. Opportunity cost refers to the potential benefits that an investor misses out on when choosing one investment over another. Now let's take a look at the definition of investing. Investing is the act of committing money or resources with the expectation of generating an income or profit in the future. It's unlike saving, which is primarily focused on preserving capital. Investing involves taking on some level of risk in order to potentially earn a higher return. Investing can be done in a variety of ways, including stocks, bonds, real estate, and many others. The most common types of investments are stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Stocks represent ownership in a company and can be bought and sold on the stock market. Bonds are loans that investors make to governments or corporations in exchange for regular interest payments. The next step is to use diverse sources to develop your understanding of the topic. Additionally, you can find reliable and authoritative sources by searching for articles published in academic journals or books. When you have defined your key terms and used diverse sources to inform your research, the next step is to develop effective keywords. When developing keywords for your research topic, it's important to consider the different ways that saving and investing can be described or categorized. For instance, you might think of terms like financial security, retirement planning, or wealth building. Once you have developed your keywords, you can use them to search for information in various databases and resources. Another important aspect of this process is to contextualize the information you find. To contextualize your topic, it can be helpful to look at related topics or issues that are connected to saving and investing. Understanding the context of your topic can also help you identify gaps or areas where more research is needed. Before diving into the specific details of saving versus investing, it's essential to start with a solid understanding of your topic. This means beginning with background reading to get a sense of the bigger picture and establish the context for your research. By familiarizing yourself with the key concepts, theories, and historical developments related to saving and investing, you can build a strong foundation for your exploration of this topic. This can help you ask more focused and insightful questions, develop a more nuanced perspective, and make meaningful contributions to the field. So let's explore how much money you need in a savings account to be financially free. The key to answering this question lies in calculating how long your savings would last based on your expenses, age, and expected lifespan. Consider your monthly expenses and multiply that by 12 to get your yearly expenses. Next, multiply that figure by 30 to get the total expenses for 30 years. Let's assume your monthly expenses are $5,000, so your annual expenses would be $60,000, and your expenses for the next 30 years would be around $1.8 million. Divide that amount by 0.04, which represents the average rate of return for a savings account. And you'll find that you need approximately $45 million in a savings account to sustain your lifestyle for the next 30 years. However, that seems like an unachievable sum for most people. But let's take a closer look at the different types of savings accounts available and how much money you would need in each to achieve financial freedom. Consider this example. John wants to retire at 65 and has worked out that he would need $2,000 per month in his later life. But by saving this money in a high-yield savings account offering a 5% interest rate, he would only need to save $5,550 per month. A traditional savings account typically offers an annual percentage, yield ranging from 0.01% to 0.5%. But remember that a savings account has its own drawbacks. So let's look at the amount of money required to be financially free through investing. Next, you need to determine your investment return. This can vary depending on the types of investments you make. For example, let's say you're 30 years old and you want to be able to retire 35 years later at 65. Here's another example. Let's say you're 40 years old. These are just two examples and your individual situation may vary. As you can see, both saving and investing are important for achieving financial freedom. I hope this was a helpful overview of the differences between saving and investing and how much money you need in each to achieve financial freedom.